What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We got Bills hosting the Jets Sunday at 1 o'clock. I know Dino and I are hype. Football's back officially.
It's the best feeling ever,
Dude. It feels amazing.
I've been dreaming about it, honestly.
Yes.
With all the COVID stuff and the uncertainties, you take it for granted. And
I know.
Know that it's coming back it's awesome to have something back in your life.
I know. And dude, football season, it doesn't get better than football season. It really does not.
Sunday morning beers.
Yes.
Wake up, especially for you, because you can just wake up and have the games are on.
10 o'clock game, dude. It's the best. Welcome back to Amateur Hour Sports. I'm Trent with my co-host Jake. Look at his numbers. His numbers are insane.
I just have to say, never go all in on the Raiders.
All right, so let's talk Jets and Bills. This is obviously a division game. The Jets also hosted the Bills last year for Week 1, and the Bills snuck away with that victory at the end. I personally, I don't see it being that close again this year. I think when you look at it just across the board, I think the Bills just straight up have a better team at basically every position, and I think they have great matchups across the board. I don't know. In my mind, we talked about it with the One Before I Die crew, but this has the makings of a must-win game right out the gate, Week 1.
Yeah, I think going into this game, everybody's expectation is going to be pretty high, and especially like looking at roster comparisons, the Jets. I mean, they don't really have that flashy of a team. They lost a lot of players. I mean, Le'Veon Bell is probably their biggest star, but when you just compare rosters, they don't really flash. So this is like the game where you just put your foot on their neck and show that you are going to take this division. And I think I said it on One Before I Died. This is like your time to just come out there and prove a point. And,
absolutely.
Oh yeah. So this is
send a message to the division, to the whole league. Like, the Bills are here, and like everyone's predicting them to win. This week, but also win the division and stuff. And there's a lot of expectations on this Bills team, so they need to come out hot.
Yeah, I think they have to dominate. I think the expectations are going to win, but you have to dominate.
What do you say? Like end the game in like third quarter, like start pulling away.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, because honestly, that's what we haven't seen with the Bills in years past. Is like I feel like they always let teams hang around. They never like end the game early. Yeah. And get that that big lead out the get-go. So hopefully they can do that. All right, so we're going to run through the injury report real quick. Just because the Jets' big storyline this offseason was all these injuries, especially at receiver. So I have it pulled up here. Their top 3 receivers, Jamison Crowder, Denzel Mims, and Brashad Perriman, they were all on the injury report. However, unfortunately, they were all full participants on Wednesday that they were recording this. But that is something to keep in mind. I mean, 2 of them are soft tissue injuries, with 2 hamstring injuries with Mims and Crowder, and Brashad Perriman has a knee injury. I think we can anticipate them playing, especially Week 1, but something to monitor, because I mean, after those 3, and those 3 aren't even that great, but after those 3, I mean, the wide receiver room just falls off.
That's a rough start for the Jets.
Yeah,
that's just not a good sign, don't you think? Like,
absolutely.
You get a couple hamstring injuries in training camp. Those usually linger throughout the season, so that's
absolutely. So definitely something to monitor. And then just a couple more. I mean, the starting linebacker Avery Williamson, starting safety Marcus May. But yeah, so they do have some limited participants from their other starters. So again, something to keep in mind with the injury report. So yeah, the Bills injury report: Vernon Butler, our starting D tackle, his hamstring injury, he was limited. But then Josh Norman did not practice on Wednesday with a hamstring. Levi Wallace was a full participant with a hamstring. So yeah, these hamstrings, man, and that's unfortunately what we're probably going to see throughout this COVID season, is just these minor tweaks, little injuries that hopefully don't build up over the course of the season. But
yeah, I mean, I think it's different also. Just you're not like the NBA where you stop, or you're playing and you stop and you start. At least we got the full season in. And it was kind of just like a normal offseason, just without hitting, I guess. So, going in, obviously watching Hard Knocks and just keeping up with all these training camps, like they weren't allowed to hit that much until, like a week and a half ago
Right.
or 2 weeks ago. And so I expect a lot of teams to come out like flat. If you've been watching the college football games recently, a lot of the teams have just been getting blown out, and you can just tell the teams that really took everything seriously, like no mental mistakes, and the teams that just didn't take it seriously, like the offseason. So I think that's also a big hit point for the Bills coming out.
Yeah, absolutely.
No mental mistakes and going full out, but no mental mistakes and not coming out flat and underestimating the Jets.
Yeah, I think that that kind of leads us into our keys for the game. I really think it comes down to whoever handled COVID the best and, mentally prepared the best for this game and just is going to be able to handle no fans in the stands. Whatever team can mentally just be present and play the game of football is probably going to win this game. The better team who can handle that, I should say, is going to win the game.
Who do you think was the better team at handling COVID?
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, how McDermott is. Like, he's all about, trust the process, one day at a time sort of thing, all those cliches. But, like, he's a good coach. Like, I think the Bills are going to be ready to go. We'll see early on who's really, ready for this one.
Yeah.
What else? What's another key to the game in your mind?
I think so. I'm going to go by stats. I think we need one of our rushers to have over 80 yards rushing.
Okay.
I think that would be good, and at least like one with 80 and maybe one with 50. So like roughly 100 yards rushing total between the running backs. I think that would be a good first game. And then I think stat wise for the quarterback, I think Josh needs to have 200 plus yards. I think he needs to have a over 60% completion percentage.
Just 200?
It's over 200, yeah. I mean, it can come off big plays. This is what I was going to say. He needs to have like 2 or 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting more big plays, yards after catch. That's why it's not really like, that much. But I mean, I think he's got to throw over 200. And I think he just needs to stay in the pocket. But I want like 3 touchdown passes. I don't expect how they can match up against our receivers. I mean,
so I like that. I mean, establishing the run is definitely going to be key early on. And, just getting the jitters out and letting Josh get comfortable in there. And I think, Jets last year had a very good run defense. Obviously, it's not going to be as good without Jamal Adams, who's one of the best box safeties, run game safeties in the league. So yeah, maybe that's a huge opportunity for Singletary and Moss to just get going and ground and pound.
I know.
For Josh.
Offense. What do you think defense was?
I mean, defensively, you look at the matchups across the board. I mean, we just went over the Jets' 3 receivers. I don't really think anyone truly sticks out to me. Mims is interesting just because he's a rookie, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be getting after the quarterback. I think is gonna be huge, creating pressure. I mean, you can say this about any game, but it's really gonna be turnovers that totally determine the momentum and just like how the game will go. I think whoever can capitalize on the turnover battle. And obviously you can say that for pretty much any game, but especially early on in this this first COVID game, I think is going to be key for both the Bills and Jets.
Yeah, I feel like Darnold is a wild card against the Bills a lot of times. I feel like he plays he plays aggressive. You got to give it to him, but he makes a lot of errant throws, and we get a lot of interceptions off them. So
right, that's why stepping up with pressure and making him force the ball where he shouldn't. It's gonna be huge.
I'm honestly interested to see how Le'Veon Bell plays. I know our defense is pretty stacked and pretty good for run defense, but I'm just curious to see how he plays this year in total. But I don't expect him to really have that dominant of a game.
Yeah. I mean, you think back to the first game last year, like he had a touchdown and like a 2-point conversion, and I was like, oh shoot, like he's gonna just pop off this year, and then he really just fizzled out. He had his worst season in his career so far. So
yeah,
I mean, you got to think he's gonna be pissed off and ready to attack this game, attack this season full head on. So let's just go to our favorite key matchup of the game. I'll let you go first.
I don't want to go. I know you're gonna think I'm gonna go offense, but I'm gonna go defense wise.
Okay.
I want to see Trey White just absolutely manhandle Denzel Mims. I want to see his form. I want to see how he comes out this year. I want to see if he's in the same caliber as he was last year playing.
Yeah, I like it.
I think that'll be interesting. I mean, I don't know how Denzel Mims has been playing. I haven't really been keeping track of his training camp and whatnot. I know he's coming, like his hamstring, you said. But, I mean, he's still a guy that people are rejecting high up. So we'll see if Trey White can just absolutely show him what it's like to be in the NFL.
Absolutely. I'll go offensively. This one is probably an obvious one, but I'm really, really curious to see how the Jets handle Stephon Diggs. And I know that the Bills got to be going into this one just trying to force feed him the ball. But that's what I would do as an OC. I would get him going early, just get him in rhythm, get Josh in rhythm, get that chemistry early. And to be honest, I don't think the Jets really have an answer for him. At least they shouldn't if we use him correct. So that's my big matchup to watch. Just Stephon Diggs in general versus whoever's up against him.
And he's been proven to be like unguardable in practice.
Absolutely. All right, and then we'll wrap it up. We're gonna make this a quick little preview because we got a lot of content coming out this week. But let's go with your final score predictions.
Okay.
Take it away.
All right, I say the Bills win 27-10.
Nice. I'm very close. I'm 28-13.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they put it away. I hope they put it away in the third. I think they put it away, maybe like middle of the fourth, and get that last score to put them to 28, and then I think they're just coasting the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a hot take and say the Bills score out of that 27, they score 21 in the first half, and host the rest of the game, just running the ball and have 2 field goals.
I like that, dude. I mean, that's what I want. I think last year they always started so slow, and it was always. I mean, Josh had so many comebacks.
Yeah, that start last year with all like the Bengals and the Jets,
right?
The Giants, they just went down to the wire. Like it just seemed.
And
like
they didn't need to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and I mean, even thinking back to the week 1 last year, I mean, shoot, they couldn't put any points on the board in the first half, and then they had to make up like 16 points and score 17 straight. So. Yeah, definitely need a faster start on the Bills in 2020. All right, cool. So that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, we have a lot of content coming out, a lot of Bills stuff coming out this week with One Before I Die. So make sure you check that out. Like, subscribe, and follow us on social media at Amateur Hour Sports. And we'll see you for the post-game reactions. We'll do a recap from week 1. Dang, it feels good to say that.
It feels good to be back.
Dude, it's good to be back.